Hi guys, I'm George. Welcome again to the new channel. Today I'm going to go over and hopefully really quick just try to show you that theory is not as scary as it sounds. It's really just applying keys and scales to one another. I know that because it's new terminology, if you're a beginner, um, you don't understand the terminology, so you get scared. But I'm going to show you stuff and try to explain it in a way hopefully you understand, and hopefully you get something out of this. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There are other resources, there are better resources. My advice is always, either find a really good guitar teacher in your area, or find some really good learning resources online. If I were to pay 20 bucks a week for a guitar lesson, that's totally reasonable, and it's invaluable. Experience isn't expensive. It's invaluable. Okay, let's begin. Okay, so this is an app you can download on your Android or your iPhone. It's called the Circle of Fifths, as shows up there in the top corner. I've got it locked on the key of C. C is in the middle. Right underneath the C, you'll see is the A minor. And then underneath that is the diminished chord. So every key has 3 major chords, 3 minor chords, and it's diminished. I like this app because I can unlock it. I can change keys. I can hit other notes. Oh, I'm not locked. There we are. I can still hit the other notes, but I'm still locked in my key. Down there, it gives you your positions for major and minor. I can switch it to a bass clef there. I'm going to go back to the key of C. For demonstration here, C is a great key because there are no sharps and there are no flats. Now I'm going to show you the notes for this in a little bit, but very simply, starting on the 5th fret with your index finger and your pinky on the 8th fret, the key of C in 1 octave is, oh, I need some volume. Key of C in 2 octaves is, now, if I pick a different starting note, instead of the pinky, and I use the index finger, and I just do the 8 notes. Oh, sorry. That was the A minor scale. Let me show you on paper. So drawing out just 2 octaves of the C major scale, and again, you can go infinitely that way, as high as so high that only a dog could hear it, or you could draw it so low that the bass would sound really cool in a black SUV on a Saturday night. But just drawing out 2 octaves, going C to C as I play, that is your C major scale. Now, if I start it on A and I go to A, that was the A minor scale. Oh, sorry. Really low tech here. I apologize. But that's it. That's the theory. In the C major scale, your starting point determines whether you're on C or you're on A minor. And you change it to you draw out the G major scale. Now the only difference there is it's going to have the F sharp. And then E minor is its relative minor. You would start on the G and go to G. It's a G major, and you start on the E minor. So it's really not that complicated. Okay, so full disclosure, I don't pretend I'm the greatest guitar player on the planet. I'm not the fastest. Blah, blah, blah. But I do know a little bit about the theory, and I'm going to try to teach you. There's primarily 2 shapes that I use for major and minor. So in the G major scale, and then that was starting at the 15th fret, your index on the 12th fret. When I start my pinky finger on the 12th fret, and then I slide it down to the 10th, so. That was E minor. That was the minor shape, and I'm going to show you those on paper in a moment. Starting on the 7th fret on the 5th string. And you're going to, for the top two strings, you're going to ignore the FU finger. So it's the 3rd string. Again, you're ignoring the FU finger, but it's only 2 notes. The bottom 2 strings, you're actually going to ignore the ring finger. And then slide up to the 12th. Now, strings starting on the 5th fret, this is what Randy Rhoads used for, the Aussie, Up there. When I go into so using the minor scale helps you write songs. It helps you understand why some of the guys did the things they did. Learning the major scale, starting at the top, I mean, this was kind of the Iron Maiden pattern, right? I'll show you on paper again. So staying in the key of G major / E minor, these were the 2 scale patterns I used. Okay, now I actually started here on the 15th. I did my 3. No, sorry, my 3 strings. You can pause that and go through, and then I just went down. So that is the G major scale. I shift it so I'm on 2 hand patterns. But again, there are scale patterns all over. There's more than just what I use. This is what I learned early on. It's what I got good with. And then the minor scale, they are the exact same notes. It's just a different pattern, right? So starting on the 5th string on the 9th fret, I go all the way up, and the hand pattern stays the same till there, and then I slide it up to the 12. And then I start at the 12, I slide it down to the 10, and then all my fingers are in the same pattern. There are other resources online. I highly recommend you use them. So guys, I'm going to end it here because I don't want to go too long and make it really overwhelming. But just using 2 keys and then the scales, the patterns aren't hard. There's only 8 notes, and then you can repeat it, and then you can repeat it again. Understanding that your scale lengths goes from the nut to the 12th fret, and then it starts over at the 12th fret. So anything I put on top of the 12th fret, I can play the same thing below in its pattern on the bottom of the fret. I know where my major scale pattern is. I know where the minor scale pattern is. And I'll be honest with you, if I'm playing in a major key, I can still hit those notes in the minor scale because the notes, they're the same notes. So I interchange the patterns all the time. I just know what notes to hit to make them sound right for the song I'm in. And the more experience you get, you will hear it too. You will hear what sounds right and what sounds wrong for you. But learn the shapes. Practice them daily. Practice your triplets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All those kind of patterns will make you a better player. And again, it's it's just shapes. And we put, names to the shapes, and then we call them, there's pentatonic and in a different scale than Dorian and Mixolydian. And you've never grown up hearing these terms before, so it's scary. And for years and years and years, I avoided it because I didn't understand the terminology. Don't be afraid of it. It's just patterns. They're just notes. There's only 7 notes in a scale because the 8th note is the repeat of the first note. Pentatonic scale, there's only 5, and then the 6th note is the repeat of the first note. I mean, a 5-note scale, that is not hard to learn. Okay. Anyways, that's all I got today. If you got anything out of this at all, please hit like and subscribe. I'm going to be putting up more lessons. As I said, I don't pretend I'm the best player. I don't pretend I'm the most knowledgeable, but I learned tips and tricks along the way that I want to give back, and I want to pass it on to you guys. Have a great day.